What in the actual world happened last night, yesterday, the whole day? That's probably one of the most chaotic days I've seen in my team, in just the game in general. Like, it started off hearing that Brandon Smith was going to be out. We had Bateman's pec injury. We had KPP benched and got lucky in terms of minutes, I think. Like, I reckon he probably was going to play 20 or 30 in this game. And the great Brodie Jones was first cab off the rank instead of KPP. But it had Nicho Hynes out, who was obviously my captain, and my vice captain was Max Plath with 31 for his lowest score of the season, so that was good. And Harry Grant's sin binning. Tyson Gamble got injured. It was a mess. It's an absolute mess. So I hope you got through okay. Like, my head-to-head team has Brandon Smith only as hooker, so end up trading him. We'll get into that soon when I get to the player that I brought in. But yeah, that was a shocker, and I hope you guys are doing all right. After yesterday afternoon, it was just the chaos around it, because you got Supercoach team, fantasy team, trying to like sort all that out when Hynes is your captain, and you run around trying to get things sorted, and yeah, it's a tough one. And then you're trying to work out, like, for me, I end up having to make an extra trade in my fantasy team to cover the half position. So, like, I'll speak about it in my round results video, but just the preparation around your team has to be top notch this season, because the injuries are just coming thick and fast, especially these hamstring strains. It did seem in the end that it was a calf strain for Nicho, which is something that he's been dealing with across the last few years as well. But just making sure that you are setting up your team as much as possible for cover, and that's something that I missed out on, and it probably would have helped me with a VC score as well. Rather than copying Plath, I should add Plath on the bench, but we'll speak about that in the results video. Let's get into the games for now, and let's talk about the positive in this one to start. The Tigers up against the Knights, and I got this tip correctly, and the bloody Sharkies won. When Nicho was out, I changed my Sharks tip to Storm, so if I kept it there, I would have been 6 out of 6. So yeah, it's a tough one. But Bradman Best, he was the best in this game. 99, a try assist, 3 line breaks, 11 tackle breaks, good tackle numbers, 235 run meters as well, with a couple of turnovers. So happy days for Bradman. And I just am seeing a few people with him in their team out there, so congrats on that one. Not much else to say. Like, he was averaging under 40 before this game and came out and crushed it. Like, he's been down 16k for the year, so it was a pretty slow start, and he's kind of built up a lot from there, which has been good for him and his owners, obviously. Isaiah Papali'i, we spoke about him during the week, playing at 13. Looks like to be a good spot for him, and going to get his good tackle numbers, and looked like he got to run the ball plenty, because he ended up with 2 tries and 8 tackle breaks. So congrats to anyone who did hold on to him. I doubt there's many owners in general, and how good's Mullet Man with the headgear. So love that. How good was he? So yeah, like, he's an interesting one, because he got 20 the week before, and then he's got 80 here. You got Bateman out for longer term. I think he could almost be a buy. If he stays at 13, he's going to be the one in the end that gets the edge in the mid-duel, which is just ridiculous how that one's worked out for Bateman. But yeah, Papali'i, we'll have a look at him over the next few weeks. Sullivan, this is where the great scores kind of stopped here. 68, the 50 pluses, but he was involved in everything. Obviously, a couple of try assists there. Ended up kicking their lone goal, and Appy didn't kick, so that was frustrating as a Appy Supercoach owner. But 28 tackles for 5 misses, kicked for 394, so he did end up coming in and kicking more than Galvin. So they really are using Galvin as mainly the sole 6, and he's kicking a little bit, but I think they're preferring him in his organising and running game rather than giving that responsibility to him, because Sullivan ended up taking over the Aiden Caesar role. And he had just don't look at him as a buy, guys. It's a few more weeks and he'll be out of the team. Frizzell with 50, so he split between that edge and the middle role, and all the news out of Adam O'Brien was that he's been wanting to give KPP a rest. That's a long enough rest. It's going to be about 50, 60 minutes. I didn't know if he was going to get on, so might have been a Jacob Preston treatment, but I'm very glad that he got there. But Frizzell anyway played edge and then moved into the middle and then got a break, so 66 for him, and he's the one been coming back from injury, so there you go. Greg Marzhew, back a little bit. Like, it was a much better game with 200 run meters, 7 tackle breaks, but it was a lovely try assist from David Armstrong for sure. And Greg the leg bloody stuffed up that second one where Armstrong he should have won himself, but surely you give it to Greg and trust him, and he just dropped it, so that was good. But yeah, he's back in a good way, and anyone looking at him maybe for round 13, I think. I don't think you buy him next week, but maybe for R13, that could be a cool one. Jayden Brailey ended up having to play the 80 minutes, and he, I believe, would have played pretty high minutes anyway because Crossland came on for Adam Elliott this week at the 33-minute mark, and Brailey stayed on. They then had Gamble go down injured, so yeah, not sure if he would have played the full 80, but be on Brailey watch next week. But they'll also have a bye the week after, so maybe he can push through a good little stint again. But 51 tackles for 1 miss. Very happy with that. As an owner, obviously 33 last week into a 48. That's a much better score, and he'll keep his money making going a little bit, which is nice after, dropping back that little bit and getting himself a higher break even in the 30s. Much better. And we'll hold him and Lussick now for a little bit and see what happens. Twali, 45. Gags, 42 in this one with 1 try assist. Did have sort of 8 negatives. Run meters a little bit lower, no offload. So for him, solid enough as that keeper center. You know what you're going to get from him at the moment. It's 40 to 60. Only had the 2 goals. Armstrong ended up copying the HIA. Apparently he's fine. Thank goodness. I think Lara Pitt was speaking to him after the game, and he passed that HIA, or the knock that he copped at the end there, and just stunted him a bit. And he was on 48 at the time. They took off the try saver and brought him back to 42, but still a 42 at 302k. It's good money making, and we're happy enough with that, which is cool. And he's available next week, which is well needed, that's for sure. Galvin, 41, all in base, guys. 21 tackles, no misses again. 1 tackle break, 91 run meters, 222 kicking, and 1 forced dropout. So that was really cool. 41. He's priced up there a bit now, so he does have to score sort of high 30s to 50 on a regular basis to keep his price, and this 41 will help with that. I would have hoped for a few more kick meters, but it is a few more than what he's getting with Caesar, so we'll have to take that and run. A lot better than some of the other scores I got this week, but Seyfarth, 57 minutes in the end with a few of the injuries that they had. Stefano, 36. Hastings, 39, guys. Obviously, been averaging over 50 before this, so a bit of a lower one here. Stefano, 36 in 41 minutes. So he had 23 tackles only and 119 meters. So a bit of a low one. Would have hoped for a bit more. Only 41 minutes. That's back to what it was a couple of weeks ago when it was down a lot lower. Then you got Lucas, 36. They speak about KVP getting a rest. Give Lucas a rest. Why does he get to play so long? I suppose he is more of a centre convert, but he ended up having 4 missed tackles, an error, and a penalty. So a tough one for Lucas, even with a try saver. You expect with that type of stat for him that he would end up in the 50s, 60s, but that was basically the lowest of his career, I think, in an 80-minute role. So pretty frustrating for owners there, but they'd be happy that he got promoted from the bench to the starting side. I reckon he scored as much as he would have from the bench anyway. Yeah, Brody, as I said, he ended up, to be fair, give credit where credit's due. I do like Brody, but he's no KVP, and we'll have to give him credit for that chase down that he did. He chased down whoever, one of the Buller or something like that. Things slowed up a little bit, but he ended up getting there in the corner and helping save that tackle. So kudos to him. Olam, 33. Anyone who's got him, better score. Coruscant, 32. It's gross at the moment. It's just gross owning him. He's not kicking goals now either, so just a clear sell in fantasy. I probably want to do it in Supercoach too, but 6 missed tackles, 2 errors. Bit of kicking, which is cool. Like why is he kicking out dummy half but not kicking goals? That's the frustrating one. Buller, 70 minutes for him, 32 points on that front. A few people asked me about him again. Just wait till 14, see what happens. Kaipis Paul, 32 in 40 minutes. So it ended up being okay. No negatives, thank goodness. And, 10 to 18 points less than, what we'd hoped for. Anywhere between that 42 to 52, I think, is where we're sitting with Kai at the moment. So it's not the end of the world. It's super frustrating. Hopefully he does get back to that starting side ASAP because he can't be getting 30, 40 minutes. It's gross. So sort it out. He ended up getting the same points as Samuel Afinu, which I suppose as a non-owner for me was good, considering like he could have come out and got a 45, 50 and Kaipis Paul could have got like a 20, and for the price disparity of 230k, that would be a shocker. But yeah, he's just not he isn't getting involved much. Obviously he moved out to the centers as well. at for a good portion of this game. They had Stafford Toa go down and then John Bateman. So yeah, pretty tough across the board. So you can't really judge a lot of the scores from edge back rows and the centres in this team, because Bateman ended up going out to the centres early in the 14th minute, and then Finu did the same out there. So yeah, they hardly gave him any ball once he got out there. It was the same for that with Bateman. Obviously tackles dropped down as well, so it's hard to judge him on that. You just hope that he gets good ball in good position, but yeah, not the case with him or with Bateman for the time that they were in that position. And speaking of Bateman there, 24, he did pick up that turnover tackle that they missed in game, thank goodness. But 24 in that 41 minutes, he was chugging along pretty well, like 0.8 ppm or something like that, and then got moved out. Was still doing okay, got that turnover tackle, and it slowed down for him coming into the half, and then obviously copped that pec injury. So shocker for Bateman. It means he's a sell for us. Thankfully, he's not around 13 player that I was banking on. As I said, the Karaz one would have been really, really hurtful. And that's why we need Kai Paul to come back into a good paddock and give him some more minutes. And hopefully, they've got a bye coming up in a couple of weeks too. Surely next week he plays big minutes. Have the bye, get your rest, mate, and then launch him out into round 13. So that's that. That was a shocking start out at Tamworth in the rain weekends, eh? Shocking. Hopefully it stops next week for Magic Round. Anyway, apparently it's just meant to be maybe a little bit of rain or cloudy. But let's get through this one pretty quick because, not a lot of relevance, obviously. Some of the guys up top in a good position, obviously, points-wise. But Damien Cook, he was on 17 after 50-odd minutes. So, yeah, really launched in the second half for sure. Jaden Sewer, people are potentially looking at him. He had a shocker a couple of weeks ago. But outside of that, he's been a 53 average over the season. He got 17 in that week or something disgusting. So 68 for Jaden. Really good. 2 turnover tackles as well to add to his try. But yeah, expected the Dragons to win this 28-14, and that's how it played out. They made it a little bit closer than it seemed, to be fair. The Bunnies kept them in a good spot, but yeah, that was that. Ben Hunt 63. Again, in these types of games, you're expecting that. Good stuff for owners. Cook, as we said. DeBellin 54 in 60 minutes, picked up another try. He's got a couple in the last 3 weeks. Very good for Jack. People looking at him, he's very expensive still at 718. If those minutes are there, sweet. I don't know what they did this week. They keep moving their back rowers and locks around, because Eisenhuth played back row and didn't play full 80 this week, so strange one. But DeBellin ended up starting and getting 60 minutes. So if that keeps up, then you should expect 40 odd to 50. But yeah, again, he's got 2 tries in the last 3 weeks. Latrell did everything he could in this one to help out. Got the try assist, got 2 tries, so he was involved in all 3 of their tries there, and picked up a 52. So again, just with this team and how it is, this is what he's going to have to do to even score solidly, and that's not what you want from one of your gun players at the moment. Lomax, he got 50, picked up a field goal, picked up a try. That was all good on his part. Another 2-point field goal, hey? Crazy. 9 tackles for 1 miss on the wing. Happy with that. Offload, 197 gain, and forced drop out. So, yeah, kicking a little bit. How can you... Hold on. Oh, no, you get them from tackling, don't you? That's right. Sometimes, yeah, just if you're questioning that, guys, no kick meters, but you do get it for a good tackle in the in goal. You'll get the first dropout. So you got Jaden Sewell with 3 forced dropouts there, Ben Hunt with 2, and Flanagan with a couple along with Lomax. So they were gifting out those forced dropouts from good tackles. But anyway, Lomax, yeah, you're probably hoping for a little bit more than this game against the Bunnies, but still a 50 is good. At his price point, it's above where he is priced. Little with 49, for those that own him, happy with that. Had him as a potential option for the buy period, but all of these Dragons players are out next week, so you can have a look at them into that week. Birdie 47, Flanagan 44. What about the bounce back from Flano? 34 tackles, 2 misses, a couple of forced dropouts, as I said. Harmstele, 42 in 48 minutes, so got less minutes again this week, but his output went up. He just had the 1 penalty, but 28 tackles, 2 tackle breaks, 123 on the meter side was great. Speaking of good minutes, Davin Wale, 42 in 55, so they did unleash him in this one. He got more minutes than all the other forwards, which is good. If you're looking at a mid, obviously it doesn't play around 13, but could make you some money at 330, which will be 340, 345 after this week. And 40 tackles. Good on him. 77 run meters, no tackle breaks, no offload. So, maybe a bit of room for that. Room to move with that one, but probably a few less tackles on a regular basis. So, keep an eye out on Davy. Kolomatangi 41, Sloan 39, Laurie Arrow. So people looking at Arrow this week, it was always going to be pretty gross when he's on one shoulder. So keep that out of your brains for now. I think Jai Arrow. All right, Havili. He ended up coming into my head-to-head team. I traded Brandon Smith to Havili. I was like, well, he's going to play lock. He'll be 40 to 50 minutes. Unfortunately, it was on the low end. He was on 26 in. It said 20 minutes, but it must have been incorrect. I'm not exactly sure how that worked. But 36 in the end at 398. It's a good score. Hope for a little bit more. Hopefully next week he gets to 45 to 50 minutes and he can keep that PPM up, which we know he can. But no tackle breaks, no offloads in this. Just working hard with no misses for 30 tackles. So that's fine. He's going to do the job instead of Brandon Smith for my head-to-head team. He was the only real option. It was him or Verrills, and there just seems to be way too much surrounding that Verrills situation at the moment. So Havili ended up being the guy this week that's just going to do a job, be hooker and mid-cover for that head-to-head team. And we'll sort out the hooking position eventually. It was pretty poor anyway the last month with Brandon Smith. So Havili with 36, we'll take that. That's for sure. People looking at Walker as well. Just a team, guys. You just have to avoid any sort of attacking plays, I think, in this team. Like Mitchell had a try, 2 tries and a try assist. Whatever it was, he scored 2. Yeah, 2 tries and a try assist and a goal and still only got 52. So what's Walker going to be able to do? He doesn't have the tools for fantasy that Latrell possesses. Sully, 33. If you hold on to him, sweet. Kind of stems the flow of his money drops as well. Kepi played 45 minutes, not relevant. Vital Mariner, 56 minutes. Eisenhuth, 55. So if you did end up buying Tom, you got 30, which is just sucks. Like, it's so annoying. Like, he's been playing massive minutes, getting huge tackles, like 66 tackles a week before. Maybe he's just cooked and they need to give him a rest. That could be the only reason that he moved as well, and coaches seem to be doing that, and it might be something to do with their workloads and obviously all the tracking that they do. That sometimes if players go into a bit of overload, they drop them back down the next week, and I feel like I'm seeing that more and more this year than in previous. So very interesting. 55 minutes for him. Hopefully, he'll bounce back next week. Tallis Duncan 30 and 37, so that's decent, but not enough to be a buy. Dion got 26 in his 80 minutes, 3 missed tackles and an error. Didn't even kick the ball. So there you go. It was all Cody Walker in that one, and it wasn't much. 321 overall for that team. There you go. Pretty gross. That's all we need to say. He's not going to be a fantasy asset. Whiten, talk about fantasy assets. He's not at under a 30 average. If he ever ends up in 6, it'll be very, very cheap, but can't buy him. And then Mamazelis came on even with Cook on the field. So, that helped Cook out, obviously. Farmani Brown, 5. French, 10. Congrats to French on his debut. We'll leave it at that one. All right, let's finish with the more relevant game. Storm and Sharks. Tyron Wishart absolutely hates scoring tries when he's the halfback, hey? Not. Smashed it. Got a try, picked up a try saver, 7 tackle breaks, and good kick meters, good run meters as well. So Wishart was the king in this one. 65, and there was a bunch of good scores in here. Obviously, Eli Katoa comes in next at 63. With Wishart, you're likely to probably get the next 2 more weeks before Origin. Well, they're by in Origin week 1, 13, and then Hughes will be back. So if you did buy him, or if you did currently own him and played him, you're cheering. But it was this week only that you could buy, and just with the amount of trades left and stuff like that, it was very hard to probably purchase him with where we're at the moment. Eli Katoa, 63, picked up a try. Much better game from him. Just the 4 missed tackles, no errors, no penalties. Much better. Got 145 on the run meter side. So happy days for Eli on that one. All right, it comes to it. I end up having to make a second trade because I did not have half cover. So the options on the board, I could have reversed the Drinkwater trade in. That's something that I did tinker with, and I end up holding steady with that because I was like, well, if Hines is going to be out, let's just say even if it is just 1 week, then this guy's probably a potential buy anyway, just like he's scoring well enough. But without Hines, is there a chance he gets the goal kicking? Yes. Is he going to do a lot of the general kicking in play when Blake Brayley was going to be your number 7 or McInnes or whoever they decided to play in that role? So I was like, well, Atkinson has to be the play. He covers wing fullback and half, and I had to trade out Strange, which I didn't want to do. It was obviously a bit of a forced one. It was my only option. The only guy that I could trade out. Everyone else had played, or they were like a Jamin Jolliffe, a Crichton, a Cotter, these types of players. So this was the shining light, the absolute shining light of yesterday, was trading in Daniel Atkinson for a 62, and he had an absolute beauty of a game. Obviously picked up some turnover tackles in there as well. He got 4 goals, the field goal, the forced dropouts, ran the ball a bit and got some tackle breaks and offload to ground, but picked up 538 kick meters as well. So if Hines is out next week as well, then he's going to be gold for my side and anyone who owns him there. So yeah, happy days on that front. Atkinson, the shining light of yesterday, that's for sure, which was a dim day. Oregon Kaufusi, 60 in this one, 60 minutes with a try. So he's absolutely gone from strength to strength there. And anyone who grabbed him this week after, just noticing how good he's been playing over the last month. I spoke about him and Hazleton in the 5 things I learned last week about how good they've been going, and they showed it again in this one. So yeah, good stuff there. He's obviously an interesting purchase. It would have been this week, but next week as well. He's getting fairly expensive at 530 or whatever he's going to be after this one. So yeah, hard to buy, but I understand why you would. If minutes like this are going to continue, which they might, he seems to be their guy right now with Toby Rudolph out too. McInnes, 58, good stuff for him. Obviously got to tackle his heart out. No misses in this one, was great. 2 tackle breaks, 78 run meters. Happy days for McInnes owners. If you're a Nickera new buyer, welcome in to the club. My head-to-head team went for it. Got 50. Good tackle numbers, as I said. 3 tackle breaks, an offload to ground there, and 10 in negative. So not the end of the world. Didn't have Hines next to him. Makes it harder for him to score tries, obviously, but he did a job. 50 at that price point. He makes a good amount of money again, and he keeps the ball rolling. Mulatalo with a line break try assist, so a decent game for him without the try. Good stuff on that front. Jack Williams got 58 minutes in this one too, 49 points for him. So yeah, there was obviously some lower minutes in their bench forwards with Talakai and obviously Hatapua with a try. So congrats to him on that meaty. And then Hamueli with 22. So if that's a bench that they're going to stick with it all over the next few weeks, then Oregon Kaufusi, Hazleton, these types of guys are going to score really, really well. Munster got 48 with 2 try assists, pretty solid if you own him currently. Not the end of the world. Ramian, 47 with a try, much better scoring over the last month for sure. He's up to a 42 average and has actually made money now. So if you just started with him and held on, that's worked out pretty well. He's played every game, I think. Yeah, Katoa's missed one maybe. Hazleton, 46 with a try saver and a try assist. How good is he? Sean Bloor, 45. Still getting that short rest. So he got that 6-7 minutes rest. Picked up 4 offloads, 3 to hand, 1 to ground. 3 missed tackles, obviously a penalty and an inside 10. So neg 9 on that. Obviously, you take a few of those away and we can just lock out 50 every week. Thank goodness he's an offloading machine, because sometimes the tackles and the run meters aren't there as much, but still a 45, it's fine. He's scoring where he's priced at the moment, now that he's made a good amount. Wilton with 39, not his best. Don't go looking to buy him, it looks like. Harry Grant, dude, he's just taken over Robson for last year. Absolutely shocking right now. 51 is the average now. It just continues to drop each and every week after the last few. Picked up 43 tackles for 7 misses. He had a sin bin, 2 penalties, an inside 10, and an error. Like, just gross, guys. He had neg 10, neg 20, neg 26 in this game. So he accumulated enough for 61 points, but ended up with 35. So super gross. Obviously, yeah, a couple of offloads there. Kicking from dummy half. Need 2 more kick meters for another point. But and have a turnover tackle as well, and still couldn't even get 40. So Harry, you're getting closer to being a sell. That's for sure. Can I go a week earlier now? Just out of annoyance? No, probably not. He's going to have to... I know, is he going to be out? I don't know. Who knows? I haven't looked at anything yet. I'm going to avoid it until after today's games, that's for sure. Anyway, King, 35. like with Grant, guys, I'm selling him come Origin, I think, anyway. Like, just one of the one or two Origin guys I will move on. Just not scoring great and losing money, but also just he'll get lesser minutes over Origin over that period, I'd imagine. Kale Iro, guys, 30 in this one, wasn't his best game. Did pick up 4 missed tackles and an error, a few 50 or so less run meters, so didn't get as many tackle breaks. Obviously picked up the try save, which helped a bit, but 30 for him, not the end of the world. Stagnates his price gains a little bit, but he's safe, he's not injured, sweet. And Sharks keep winning, so that helps them. Meany 29, bit gross at the moment. He's just how can he play center and get 57 meters? He's taken over that right edge center Remus Smith role, unfortunately, and it was looking pretty positive. And then the last few weeks have been pretty dire. So not great. He's still scoring like okay, right? But nothing to get excited about. And if you do own, it's still a hold, but it's a pretty gross hold at the moment. Blake Brayley, 26. Just got moved around. Obviously, played some half in there and dropped his tackle numbers, so that hurt him. Hopefully Hines is back, or they can sort things out for what they do with that next week. Again, we really need Hines back. Let's just get Nico back on that one. I don't want any more vice captaincies. Well, I won't be doing that again. I'll be putting it on like Crichton every week now. So that's the annoying thing, because it's like you wanted to be able to like. That's the good thing about putting the vice captaincy early. Obviously, if you get it right, sweet. Like we've had Crichton and those guys as our vice captains in recent weeks in the early games, and then in this one it didn't work out. So it's kind of going to push people back to just vice captaining their second best player, which sometimes works as well. But if you vice captain Cleary this week, then you still only got 39. So there you go. The big thing there is obviously with so many injuries and guys that have been pushed out, you saw some unluckiness with Roger being some people's vice, and then they had Hines. So they actually get no captaincy points in that scenario. So it's pretty gross. But if Crichton he still hasn't played yet, he could be out. Let's hope not. But if he's your vice captain and then he's out, you actually can't move him from the field or trade him out. Like if someone was to get a 4-week injury like Roger has, you can't actually trade him out. So they're locked into your side. So that's the frustrating thing about it. But I can see people moving back to that strategy for sure after this week. Unless they have it on Dylan Brown or Edwards or Yo or something like that, they'll be happy as. All right, Farlongo. We need to turn it down, don't we, on him? Because, scoring, unfortunately, outside of that game with Pat last year, not good. 19. He was on 19 or so really quickly. I think they put him up to 26. He was back down to 19, and then he was on 19 for about 45 minutes. So 3 missed tackles, 2 errors, hardly ran the footy after that. Got the line break and 4 tackle breaks, but just not his game at all. Gross. If you bought him in for 19, you're super upset. Is what it is. Hopefully, next week he bounces back, and a lot of these guys bounce back as well. Hamunuele 14 in his 22 minutes. So if that stays down, then that'll be interesting. But we got Hatapua with 62 minutes in this one. Obviously, Royster Choice with 12 as well. So they loaded up some minutes on some of their boys, and interesting how that ended up working out. But that's the fantasy side. I'll just do a quick run over of the Supercoach. I've got to head off to Happy Mother's Day for everyone. I'll go see my mum, drive back down to Sydney. Anyway, Panthers and Dogs. We had 200s, Garner and Karaz. So Garner's gone back-to-back tons. To'o with 86. So anyone owns him. Edwards back down to 75, but still a great score on his front. Then you had Taylor May with 35, pretty gross. Cleary with 31. In that one, not too much joy, to be honest, for owners down there. If you bought Alamotti, you got the 53 and his price rise this week, which was good. Burton with the 80. That was the other guy I was looking at, so you picked up that try, which was helpful. Tracy still ended up with a decent score. King with 53 for owners of him was good. Curran we're worried about for sure. Kickout 41, Sherry 31, not nice there at all. And then Preston, we'll get him dropping some cash and have a look at him soon. Eels, Blaze Salungi. After all of that mess, like Supercoach was an absolute mess yesterday, just given most of the guys, if we weren't too keen on playing them or whatever, like we had other options and we had plenty yesterday. I had Roger to deal with as well, which was a shocker, which I didn't mention at the start of the video, but you had Roger to deal with, Hines to deal with, and then a few other problems as well. But end up having to make extra trades as well, which wasn't great, especially when you have Talangi there at 93 on your bench and you can't access the score. It's pretty frustrating, but yeah, obviously a big score from that, which is not scrolling up. There you go. Dylan Brown, 96. This is my team here. 96 for Dylan and 93 for Walsh. Very, very happy with those scores. It ended up being a very good Supercoach game because I get the price rise from Talangi, and a few people will look to buy him this week, but got the great scores from Brown and also Walshy there as well. What about Walshy? Was projected to score 48 points. Pretty gross. Williston, 34. As an owner of him, it's fine. He's going to lose a bit of cash again, though, so that's frustrating. Sean Lane ended up with a 55, so that was a better score from him. Hopgood up to 62 was good. And on the other side, Man was 62, Carrigan 58. Pretty solid. They're all holds at the moment. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. Moving along, Tigers and the Knights, if it's going to load. End up with Sullivan and got the 81 in this one. We had Isaiah Papali'i with a massive score there at 115, and Bradman Best 124 on the other side. Galvin 53, if you played him, it was fine. Coruscant 44, not happy about it, but is what it is at the moment in that hooking position. I've got him and Brayley now, which was a mistake, but anyway. Just get 2 tackle bots that one of them misses tackles and one makes them. So there you go. Bateman, yeah, 23, super sad on that front. If you're on the other side, yeah, Brayley 43, Kaipis Paul 36. Again, had the Kaipis Paul issue. So that was pretty gross. Hastings slowed down a little bit this week with a 46. And then you had Lucas, the same situation, 47. Armstrong, if you brought him in, you got a 63 out of it, which was great. Yep, that makes sense. Had to reload because it was stuffing up. There we go. Back to the Tigers. And then you got Marzu with 85, which is really, really nice. Gagai 55 was fine. Obviously, updates are still to come to this game, so the offloads and the like there. But Greg, fairly cheap, mid-price now. Like, is he someone that we look to buy? Is Armstrong good enough as still a purchase this week after making a bit of cash? You know, there's all those questions there. So keep that in mind when you're looking at those guys. The Dragons and the Bunnies, only Lomax really of relevance and Hunt in the Dragons, and also I would have hoped for a bit more from Lomax. I think a few people might have ended up making him captain after all of that was happening. Humselli 47, solid. Eisenhuth 39, not great as we were saying in the fantasy side. And then Davy with 53, so he's an interesting one at his price of 308 as a potential front row forward over the next while, to be honest with you. And then you had Cook 53, Latrell 71. That should surely update a little bit just with how that ended up for him with 2 tries and an assist. But yeah, we'll leave that game at that. And then for the Storm side, Eli Katoa was good for me, thank goodness, and had Iro, so it wasn't the worst game at all, that one. I don't have Harry Grant in this, and Blory got 50, Grant got 51, Munster got 61. Wishart was the gun in this one. And then McInnes on the other side was good with Kafusi up top of 76. He's at 451, made 50k. He's going to go up very high again. Atkinson at fullback and halfback. It's a bit of an awkward one, but he's an interesting downgrade option if you needed to, if you wanted to in that scenario. Cleary and Hines both out. That's a shocker. Nikora 55, I was looking at him, didn't end up pulling the trigger for my third trade with Nikora. Actually, no, I've ended up traded in, I had enough cash, I ended up going Chan to Watson to end up getting my last reserve. So it was that or Nikora. Nikora was an extra like 80k, 50 odd k. And I need some money next week for Trey Fuller's upgrade, most likely. So that was where I went on that one. Hazelton, another 65, doing great things with that try assist. So, and then Ronnie, 60. That'll do. That's enough for this one, guys. Thank you for being here. I'm off to see Mum. And happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. And I love you all. And we'll see you tomorrow's video. What a chaotic day.